everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is March the 24th, 2021, and today the topic is Don't Look Back. Friends, I woke up this morning, and I did not want to get up, y'all. I was tired. I think, on one hand, it's like, I don't know why it felt like such a strenuous day yesterday, but it was. Maybe I just was always on the go. I don't know if I went back to sleep after I did the juice. I can't remember, but basically, when I woke up this morning, I just felt really tired. However, after just taking a little time to wake on up and everything like that, here I am, y'all. Here I am to do the juice. I want to say I woke up, or I paid attention to the time when it was 4:02. So I guess if you guys want to add that till you go deeper, you can. I believe that was 4:02. Look at those verses if you are so led to do. However, don't look back was something that, I did my prayer meditation, and it was a great reminder of that God is the light, that Jesus is the light, and I thought that was beautiful, and everything like that. And then as I got ready to do my prayer, write down verses or whatever the case is, I want to say soon after I prayed, don't look back, it came into my mind, and then I looked up these verses, and I was like, okay. And I kind of hesitate to tell you guys another reason why this probably popped into my mind. But I'll just say I make some observations. I'll put it like that. I made some observations as well, like in my wake up process and whatnot. And I know I've kind of chatted with you all before about this idea, or something that was kind of revealed to me throughout this process of the juice and everything like that. I want to say some months ago, but this whole idea of looking at our past, right? Or not just looking at our past, but how can I say? Well, the whole phrase about okay, if you forget your past, then you're bound to repeat it and all that stuff, right? That's the phrase. But then I think I told you guys some months ago that I kind of questioned that idea, just because, one, of what the word says, and two, you just notice that a lot of the issues that come, or a lot of the issues that are being played out in the world right now, are things that people are holding on to, things that people won't just let go, things that happened in the past that people just hold on to as a seed of bitterness, so it's not like looking at it as if you don't want to repeat it or whatever. It's looking at it as if, and this is why I should be mad, or this is why I should be angry, or this is why I should not forgive, or this is why basically I shouldn't do the things that God asked of us to do, right? So that's the thing, that's what has me questioning this whole concept of looking back and everything like that. So now far be it from me, I'm just a human too, and sometimes I get that sometimes people look back and okay, but I think there's a difference, y'all. I think there's a difference between looking back and reminiscing and things like that versus looking back and holding on to something, especially if it's negative. But I don't know if there's a difference to God, because His word says repeatedly not to look back, and it gives examples of the perfect example is good old Lot, y'all. Everybody knows the story of Lot and his wife and everything like that. But if you don't, that's going to be in the Go Deeper section. You guys can just, read that entire thing on your own. However, let's just take a look at it real quick. So Genesis 19:26 says, "But Lot's wife behind him looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Now, again, you guys can read the entire story on your own, but I mean, basically, they was in Sodom and Gomorrah and all this different stuff. They was going down. God let them know that he was going to destroy the city and X, Y, and Z. So that's like a really rough paraphrase of what happened. But Genesis 19:17 says, and as they brought them out, one said, escape for your life. Do not look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the hills, lest you be swept away. Now, again, you guys gonna read this on your own, right? You're gonna read this on your own. However, you know, it seems here that Lot was warned, and his wife, I'm assuming that his wife was warned too. Now, I don't know if she just didn't get the memo, but this was the warning right here. Don't look back. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things in the Bible that kind of has that same pattern of God literally being like, hey, don't do this, and then the people do it. So this is what I'm seeing here. Like, it seems to me, if I'm going to just my little human interpretation, right? It seems to me that they was warned beforehand. Don't look back. Don't, just keep going towards safety, X, Y, and Z. Don't stop. Don't look back. And then she does it. And again, it's like, you do things and then it's like, man, you don't expect for there to be a consequence, right? But obviously there was a huge consequence, and that was she became a pillar of salt. Which, that's a whole nother level right there, because I was going to speak on that, but I'm gonna let that go. But basically, it's just something to think about in regards to this, because it's like, I guess for me, when I'm seeing, in this message and in this verse here, it's just like, God tells you to do something and then you don't do it, there's consequences, and, in her situation, it just was a swift consequence, so, I guess thanks God for his grace and mercy for us in this season, and everything like that. But yeah, just something to think about in regards to this whole idea of looking back. Now check out this, y'all. Luke 9:62. It says, Jesus said to him, no one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God. There's no better example, man. Like, okay, just imagine a farmer, plowing his field, but as he's moving forward the plow, he's looking back. Like, how is that helping him? How is that helping anything? He don't know where he's going. If he's looking back, he's messing up the field. Like, I don't know, that's something to think about, y'all. That's just something to think about right there. Now, Philippians 3:13 says, brothers, I do not consider that I have made it my own, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what lies ahead. Sounds like an example of what we all need to do, especially if you're holding on to bitterness and unforgiveness and all the things that we should not be holding on to. At some point we gotta let it go in order to grow, in order to move forward, in order to see some change and some differences in your life and all of that. So, I hope that it encourages you and inspires you to, be reminded to not look back. Goodness, like I said, I don't know. I don't know if there's a difference between reminiscing and being like, oh, the good old days when I was young, and oh, look at these photos. Like, I don't know if that's the same, right? or what. Obviously it doesn't seem like it's the same to look back on something fondly and then versus looking back on something with bitterness. But I don't know. But either way, the word here says for us to not look back. And so, yeah, y'all, that is the juice this morning. That is the juice. Now, the Bible verse of the day is Psalm 27:4. It says, one thing I have desired of the Lord one thing I'm going to read right. I'm going to read it right, y'all. Y'all ain't going to be like, Broken read this wrong. I'm about to read it right. Here we go. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. I can tell y'all probably why I got that wrong, or why I was getting it wrong. Basically, in my mind, as I read that verse this morning, as I was writing it down, I just was like, man, what a beautiful, beautiful description. Like, what a beautiful sentiment. Like, and it made me think, like, do we think like this? Who talks like this? And who thinks like this? Like, this is what I desire of the Lord, to be in his presence and you know what I mean? Like, my goodness, what a beautiful description. And I mean, that's what I have to say about that. You guys can let that marinate yourselves. Now, friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
There's no time to get my nails done. Oh, I know. I went to unwindselfcare.com and got my 100% nail polish strips. Thanks, Unwind Self Care.